Long ago, a demented sorcerer opened a gate between this world and a world ravaged by the unhallowed dead. What followed was an invasion unlike anything seen before. Pushed to the brink, the living banded together, established strongholds, and held their ground. Now, centuries later, the undead roam the land without purpose, while those still alive establish outposts to retake the land inch by inch. Never more than a day's march between them, so aid is readily available. These outposts are served by the Order of the Sun, raised from childhood to roam the frontier and drive back what undead they can or marshal aid for those too strong. Into this harsh world comes Barristan, a simple man with a really big hammer. It is his first year as a member of the Order. Traveling the inner outposts as the outer rings are far too dangerous for a neophyte, he is soon flagged down by villagers who tell him the restless dead have crept into their lands and infested a nearby graveyard. He asks their number, but the villagers are fearful, staying well clear of the ghastly creatures and knowing nothing about them save the corpses of their dead are being unearthed and devoured. Barristan nods. He knows what must be done. Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the show. It's Sunday, and you know what that means. We're going to roll some dice. That's right. It's Soloplay Sunday, the show where I bust out some game or another and we dive into the action therein. This week, we're going to rediscover an old classic, my first TTRPG obsession, and still one near and dear to my heart. Advanced Dungeons & Dragons 2nd Edition. For this adventure, we're employing both the base rulebook and the Skills and Powers book detailed earlier in the week for Tabletop Tuesday, so go ahead and check that out if you're curious. Further, we're going to keep things simple, not employing every rule in existence, but I will mention and explain anything I am using. Here's our brave adventurer for this episode. Barristan the Cleric. He's part of a martial-based order. They patrol the inner lands just outside the mighty citadel of their culture, kind of expanding out and retaking territory from the endless undead meter by meter. The newbies, which Barristan is, get the cushy inner circle jobs while their higher level characters expand out into greater dangers. Situation is simple. Some undead have snuck into the settlement, this outpost, and are consuming the interred corpses in the graveyard, establishing a foothold for others unless they're dealt with. And dealt with they shall be. Barristan and his maul will see to that. Let's get into it. Our situation. Here's our intrepid hero, Barristan. Now, he is not immediately aware of the imminent danger, but there are two of the undead here lurking. They've been feasting on the corpses that they're in. Now, before he enters this, we're going to do a little bit of prep work. We're going to actually be smarter than I have been in previous instances. He has several spells due to his ability scores, which were shown earlier. So he's going to burn one of them, and he's going to cast Bless on himself before he goes into this situation. It lasts 6 rounds. So hopefully that will give him a bit of an advantage. So anyway, so he casts that spell, and immediately, and we're actually going to say before he casts a spell, he does his Detect Evil, Detect Undead, because these are, what we would know in 5e as channeled abilities. You got to sit, you got to concentrate and such. So being that he can detect evil and undead, he knows there's stuff over here, and he knows there's something over here as well. Not this guy. This guy is not the undead. So he has some prep work done. He's laid the groundwork. He said, okay, we got enemies all over here, so I'm just going to work in a clockwise fashion, root them out, deal with them. So he's going to move. He's got 6 spaces for his move. So he's going to move, and instead of, just charging in blindly, he's going to do a sweeping pattern clockwise. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there his first round. Now, obviously, this guy becomes aware of him. So he's going to let out an undead cry, alerting others. And we're going to roll some initiative. We got our first roll here. Now, in D&D 2e, you roll a D10, modified by various factors. Now, since we are using skills and powers and so on and so forth, we are going to be using speed. Now, Barristan is specialized in his maul, which lowers the speed of his weapon significantly. However, these guys are just meleeing it. So they're just pounding with their fists. So they are more than likely going to be faster. So let's just see what we got. Okay, so Barrison's got a 7. Now his speed, let's see here. Speed of his weapon. Speed of his weapon is 5, so he takes the 7 and he adds 5 to that, so he has a 12. That's really high. Make a note of that there. Bad guys. Rolling a d10 unmodified, which is a natty 1. Well, okay, yeah. So the initiative was kind of pointless, but you still got to run. You still got to jump through the hoops. You still got to do it. So they will go first. Now they can only move 3. They are shambling. They are slow, but they are going to attack on sight. They attack the living on sight. Well, actually, there's a rock there according to the map, so this guy's going to move around that rock. He's not going to crawl over it. No movement from here just yet. We got our buddy here keeping things under control. Now, round 2 comes around, and there's our first round of our bless is ticked down. So Barristan can move and hit. So he moves 2, gets into melee. He's not going to wait for an invitation. He's going to come out swinging. So he has his bless, which is a +1 to attack. Now his maul calculation here is normally +1 to attack, but he's got the bless as +2. He can make 3 attacks every 2 rounds. So he's going to make 2 attacks this first round. Make sure he drops this guy, hopefully. He rolls a natty 2, so yeah, even with a +2, it's a 4. It's not good enough. Now, in AD&D 2e, you have what's called Thaco. There's been much ado about how complicated it is. I'm going to make it simple. Thaco, you start out with 20. You start out with the number 20. If the enemy has a positive AC, you subtract it. If it's a negative, you add. And that's what you need to roll on the d20 and all modifiers to hit him. That's your target number. Zombie armor class is 8. So since it's a positive number, you subtract it from the 20. So he needs a 12 or better to hit. He rolled a 2. He's got +2, so 4. Not good enough. Let's roll it again. His second attack is an 18. +4 is a 22. He absolutely hits. Does not count as a crit because it wasn't a natural 20. Whatever. Now the maul does 2d4 damage and he has a +3. The bless does not add to damage, only to attack. So he's going to hit this big boy for, there's 4. And then the other d4 is 2. That's 6 +3. 9 damage to the lead zombie. It only had 7 hit points. He crushes it. It is gone. That's a great start. Fantastic. Much better than a lot of my solo plays. So he moved 2 and he attacked. So he actually has 4 more moves to go. He's going to hold his action to the end of the round to see how far the zombie gets. The zombie's going to move 3. He's moving ahead. So yes, he's not going to get initiative. He kind of judges, okay, if this thing moves 3 more, it's going to be about here. So I want to be in melee range, but I want to go first. So he's going to hold. Let's see here. So if that thing moves 3, it'll be here. He's going to move ahead 1 to put himself in position. Now, next round, the zombie moves 3. Then it's his turn. He moves in. Now, the zombie gets to swing first because it has initiative. And its Thaco is 19. It has a slightly better Thaco than Barristan. Barristan has AC 7 just like them. So 19 minus 7 is 12. The attack is an 18. That is a hit. These things do d6 damage. Just pummeling. Oh, couldn't see that behind the thing, but it is a 5. That is a solid freaking hit. Barristan has 11 hit points. He takes 5. He's down to 6. That freaking hurt. Now, he could actually stop and he could cast his Cure Light Wounds, heal himself back up, or he could run the risk and try to drop this thing. He only has 1 attack this round because he burned, 3 every 2. You get 2 one round, you get 1 another. So he has 1 swing to try and drop this thing. So the question is, what is he going to do? Ay, ay, ay. Because, ay, 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 ay. You know what? He's going to swing. He's going to swing. We're going to balls to the wall. Let's do this. Ah, it's a 2. Absolute air ball. All right, so round 3 comes around again. The zombie swings again. That is a 12. That is a hit. He hits Barristan for 1. Whew, whew, ride lightning. Barristan drops from 6 to 5, taking only 1 point of damage. This round, Barristan has 2 attacks again, so it alternates between 2 attacks in a round and 1 attack in a round. So this is his 2, and he's absolutely going to go on the offensive. Both attacks, both at this guy. Rolls a 19, very nice. It's absolutely a hit. Plus 2, 21. So yeah, he does 4. He does 4 more, 8. Plus the 3, 11. This thing only had 4 hit points. He crushes it. It has been crushed. Tick off another round of the bless. So he's dealt with both the minor dangers. But he takes a moment. He detects evil. He detects undead. There's definitely something still here waiting for him. So he's like, you know what? I'm going to burn. Now, as part of his character creation, he took, what was it called? The natural healer, or whatever. It gives him a free cure light wounds every day. So he's going to burn the freebie and heal himself for D8. Ah, he heals himself for 1. Fantastic. Okay, he's going to burn another one because the dice are being smartasses. Getting tired of this shit. There we go. Heals himself for 6. He is now back to full. However, that takes him 2 rounds. He's only got 2 more rounds on the bless. Let's see. 3, 6. 3, 6. It's going to take him 2 rounds just to get there. So he's going to go ahead and do his 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Actually, he's going to stop back here. He's going to stop within 1 round of movement of the crypt because nothing's come out yet. And he's going to burn his very last spell to redo bless. So he's got a new bless. And he blesses himself. He moves up a half move. And as soon as he does, something emerges from the crypt. It smells. It is disgusting. There is a fog around this thing in a 10-foot radius. It is disgusting. It just smells like rotting, putrid, been out in the desert for a few days, burst along the side of the highway, kind of just nastiness, like gross. And he is affected. He's going to have to roll he's going to have to roll a saving throw. Well, let's see, there's one thing I didn't write down, saving throws. Now, saving throw for first level priest against poison is 10 or better. Can he roll it? 13, he does. Had he failed, he would be at a -1 to all his rolls from the putrid stench of this thing. Now, as a slight aside, you might be wondering, why has he not tried to turn the undead? It's like, because as part of their order, they have to destroy above all else. They have to absolutely wipe out the undead. It's not enough to drive them away and send them running into the hills where they're just going to have to chase them down and kill them. Again. So he chooses for destruction first, but if there's a reason he may turn undead, he has that ability. We're not worrying about that right now. So, okay. So let's redo initiative here real quick. Where's my D10? Here we go. Now, Barristan, +5 to his initiative. He is now at an 8 initiative. It's better than last time. Oh, come on. Come on, big undead guy. Roll bad. And he does. He rolls a 10. So, Barristan actually gets to go first. Okay. So, combat is reset. He's got his 3 every 2. He can do a partial move, get in this thing's face, and do 2 attacks, 2 swings. Come on, big money, no whammies. Stop. Hey, okay. So he has a +2, so he's a 5 and a 7. This thing's AC is 7 like the others, so he needs a 13 or better to hit. That is not a hit, but he's got a second attack. 7 + 2 is 9. Misses both times. Whiff, whiff. The thing takes a moment to mock him because he's bad at his job. It swings at him. It has a THAC0 of 19 like the others, so -7. He needs a 12 or better to hit Barristan. He rolls a 19. He hits. He does the D6. He does 3 to Barristan, and it hurts. He had 11 hit points. He drops to 8, and he has no cure light wounds. He has no backup plan, no exit strategy. So he's ball to the wall. He's going to swing again. Whoop, whoop, whoop. We got to tick off a round of our bless here. He's going to swing again. 9. It is 11. That is close, but that is no cigar. That is a miss. Zombie hits him again at 18. Totally a hit for 6. Holy crap. Barristan drops the 2 hit points. And he has no cures left because the dice were being idiots. So here we go. So here's the question. Does he keep swinging? Does he try to drop this thing? This thing looks pretty healthy, pretty hardy. Or does he attempt to turn the undead and drive it away and then go get help? Tactically speaking, it would be worse if he were to fall to the undead. That is something that just, their order cannot abide. So we're going to say he's going to try to turn the undead. He needs to roll 13 or better. He holds out his holy symbol. He commands the undead to be gone. Crawl back from whence you came, and that is 3. That is unsuccessful. Uh-oh. Oh, bum, bum, bum. All right, so that was his action for the round in initiative order. The bad guy swings again. A 9 is not good enough. He misses. So we'll tick off another round of the bless. Well, the turn was unsuccessful. That is out. His only option is to beat this thing's butt. Come on, D20. Don't be a jackass. Oh, a 12 plus 2, 14. That is a hit. He's dealing 2d4 plus 3. There's a 4. Another 4, 8, 11 damage. It only had 10 hit points. Oh, from the jaws of defeat, we have snatched victory. Oh. You can't make this up. This is exactly why we do this. Why we roll these dice, make these characters go on these awesome adventures, these dramatic moments. Back to the wall. Absolutely no way out of this fight, except maybe to run around like a scared little wuss. But Barristan wasn't raised to do that. Our hero had to make a choice. More than that, he had to deliver. He had to make that roll. Not only did he make the roll, he made the damage as well. Admittedly, these were weaker on the scale, customized undead for this particular world, but the point stands. I mean, this is solo play. It's him against the world, so I'm not going to throw an entire party's worth of monsters at him. He's just dead. It's just tailored down. I mean, admittedly, but had he not rolled exactly as he did, Barristan would have joined the ranks of the unliving, and the Order would have to send out more folks to deal with the situation. But he handled it. Man, that was fun. That was awesome. Now, I hope you all enjoyed the gameplay. Obviously, I had a great time running through it. This is basically what 2E is, what AD&D 2nd Edition is for those uninitiated, because not everybody has played every system, and they might be curious about the old school stuff, so here it was, folks. The only house rules I typically run with that could have possibly been included beyond what was shown. It's probably, I do a hit location, and I do hit points by hit location based on medical transcripts about basically it's what percentage of the body is each part of the body, and then I divide the core hit points by that, and it's whatever. And armor's damage reduction, I do that as well. Those are all things that I typically run with, but I didn't want to bog down the session with those elements. I wanted straightforward illustration of what life was like with AD&D 2E with the skills and powers. So I hope I entertained y'all. I had a great time. I hope y'all did too. And if you did, go ahead and give this here video a like. Maybe subscribe if you want to see more of this kind of stuff. I put videos out multiple times a week on a wide variety of subjects, so there's bound to be something to find interesting. And that's all for another episode of Solo Play Sunday, y'all. Now, it's beautiful out. Maybe get out there today. Enjoy it, but be mindful of the heat. Stay hydrated. Use your sunscreen. Also, make sure to gather around the table today. Throw some dice. Play some cards. Make some memories. Do something fun. Maybe watch a cartoon or a movie. Read a comic. And as always, have a good one.